Well, before we talk about the music, I'd like to go back to the beginning quickly. So, do you remember the first record you ever bought?
Yeah, I was actually a really big fan of Dead Alive, and I knew they were going to release an album, and I was like, okay, I think this is the first album I want to buy, because I really liked all the tracks on the album. Really, all the tracks were amazing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy it. And when I bought it, I was so happy. So now it's in my room, the album, and I listened to it for like more than 1 year constantly, and I really loved it.
What was it about the sound of them that you liked?
They have this really ugly sound, like they say, and I really like it. They have their own signature, and it didn't really influence me in my production, but I love their style, and they are just crazy guys, and I love how they act, and yeah, I just love those guys.
Because if I understand correctly, you started out playing piano.
Yeah, I started playing piano. I have also two brothers. They also both play piano, but I'm the one who listening to electronic music.
Okay.
The other ones is just they play piano, but they don't really listen to the kind of music I listen to. So I was more like, hey, I want to make music also, like electronic music. So I started producing because I like piano and melodic stuff, and yeah.
Do your brothers still play music?
Yeah, they still play piano, and I think my little brother is actually playing better than me.
Okay.
Yeah, but he played like jazz music and
Right.
stuff like that. And yeah, they still play piano and they like what I do. They support me, but it's not really their first kind of music they will listen to.
Well, so for you it was more electronic early on. So
Yeah.
what kind of, do you know where it came from? Was there some electronic music playing around the house? Or?
Well, I think the first electronic music I listened to was really from here, from Dutch music, and also Sweden guys, all those guys from the north. I think those are the guys who produce like the good old house, and now you have like also the German techno and stuff like that. I think it comes from Europe. I think most from the Eastern Europe, but I really like all those kind of stuff.
Was it a big thing when you were growing up? Were your friends listening to DJ music, or was it something you?
Yeah, I was actually in a boarding school,
okay.
And everybody there was listening to the same music. Everybody was listening to house, to electro, and everybody was listening to it. And everybody was like, we go back home for the weekends, and when everybody came back to school, everybody had new music, and everybody was showing, listen to this new track, listen to this new track. And so we exchanged all the tracks together, and I think I really create my culture when I was there in the boarding school. Even though the music really changed in the past years, I think the quality of the music is really better. I wouldn't listen to the music I was listening at those days anymore, but I really loved it.
What kind of things were there? Do you remember one thing you at that point thought?
Yeah, I
was
remember
really
like I said, the music changed a lot. Like Avicii was producing not at all the same music he is doing now. It was really more electro house he was making, and I really loved it. I really love his music now still, but yeah, he changed. But you have to change, you have to evolve, and yeah, but yeah, that's that.
So from being a fan of music, how did it go to wanting to create your own music?
Yeah, I always listened to the music, and so at my boarding school, everybody was DJs.
Okay.
All those guys were DJ, but I wasn't a DJ. I just was constantly wondering how these people were making the tracks, how it happens, and why it's like that. So those were the questions I was thinking about when I was listening to music, and all the other guys I was thinking about doing a DJ set.
Right.
So one day my brother bought me a computer, and then I opened GarageBand, and I start messing around with those things, and I start understanding how it fits. And so now I changed the program. I'm on Logic now, and yeah, I begin to I think I begin to understand how it's put together.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your background in piano, that it helped in any way?
Yeah, it surely helped, because I remember one day I told my piano teacher, hey, I want to make music, make my own melodies and make my own chord progressions. And then he looked at me and he said, okay, we're gonna change the whole things. Normally I don't do that with my students, but now because you're the only one who asked me that, I'm gonna show you some tricks, some things, so you can make some cool melodies. So he started to show me, and after some months, I understood, and then now I'm making my own melodies, and thanks to him now, I think I can make music.
So it was always for you more important to create something by yourself than right.
Yeah, I really like to create my own sounds, but I also really like to remix tracks. So I did a lot of remixes, and I think that's a part of my artist name. I became a little kind of famous on the internet because of my remixes.
Right.
So now I can do my original stuff and people will listen to it. It's really cool.
What was the first remix you did that you were really proud of?
I did a remix of Paramore, Crush Crush Crush. That was and I did it in it was Dutch house style, and I really liked it. I was really proud. I was sending it to labels, but you don't get answered. But that's okay because now. When I listen to it now, it sounds a bit cheap, but at the moment I was so happy I made this remix. I was so cool. I thought it was really cool. So yeah, that was my first remix.
Because I saw a couple other songs. You did Bob Marley, No Woman No Cry. You did Red Hot Chili Peppers, Snow. So it's not necessarily the first thing you think about when you think about electronic music. These are reggae, rock, and so how come this broad palette to work with?
Because when I listen to music, on my iPod I have a lot of deep house because I play deep house, but I also have like a lot of indie rock. I have all the kinds of music. I listen also to reggae, to hip hop, and all this stuff. And sometimes, I always checked the albums of new people. I listen to the albums, and sometimes there is a track, and there is the hook, and something I really like, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I think I'm gonna remix it. Now for Snow, it's because it was one of my favorite tracks. And No Woman No Cry also. So when I found an instrumental of an a cappella of the track, I can't not use it. I want to try something. And sometimes I have tracks that I really like, and I find the a cappella and I try something and it's a mess. So I don't finish the track. I had that once with a track of Numb from Linkin Park, and I found the a cappella. I was that's so cool. I'm gonna make a remix. And it was so bad, and then I didn't release it because I didn't want to screw up the original.
Right. Well, see, because that I think is interesting. Because how do you start on a remix? Because some of those songs, especially No Woman No Cry, is an iconic song. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
So how do you start on a song like that?
Well, when I made the track, I wasn't really thinking about releasing it. I was just thinking about because it's such a huge track. I was really afraid, so I was just making my song. I was messing around and I sped it up really hard, so the vocal was really faster than the original, so it felt a little weird. But then I made my version. I made like something. At first time I was thinking making a track to put it in my sets, but then at some points I showed it to some friends and they were like, first they were like, why did you touch to Bob Marley, or why did you do that? And then they told me, actually it's pretty cool, you should share it. And then I posted it and it worked out really good. I had some comments like, don't touch Bob Marley, it's a classic, but that's normal, you always have those kind of comments. But I think there was a lot of good response to the remix and I was really happy with it. Because
at this point, were you signed at this point when you started?
No, I wasn't signed when I released the track. I released the track and I think though, I'm not sure anymore. I already signed Are You With Me, but it wasn't released yet.
Okay.
So I was still putting some free download stuff on the internet. At the time, I think I was making one track every week, and I was posting every 10 days a new track on my SoundCloud. But now with SoundCloud you can't do that anymore because they take it off immediately. So yeah, I think I had my time when I had good luck when I had the possibility to do that and to grow thanks to that. But now I don't think you can do that anymore.